everybody, I'm Everton Zacchini, and today we're gonna talk about Bossa Nova chords. I decided to split this video in two parts. So part 1 will be with chords with the root on string 6, and the second part will be with the chords with the root on string 5. So here, somewhere here, you can get the link to the video. The idea of this video is that you can learn some chords, some common chords for Bossa Nova, and also not only get the forms of the chords, but also you can apply and move around the fretboard these same chords. So when you see some songs, you can you don't need to get and look at the chord diagrams. You can just know how to build a chord that you need. As Bossa Nova is influenced by jazz, we don't play normal chords like C, D, G. We're gonna play all the chords with 4-note chords using the 7th and also some extensions. This chord here, we have this G chord, G major chord, with the form using the bar chord, okay? So you can move this same chord around the fretboard. So this chord here, it comes from the E form. So we have the E chord here, then I have, using the same form of the E, I can build F chord, G, and A, and at this way follow the sequence of the notes. So if you know, for example, a G major 7, you can apply this G major for other chords. So if I have a G, I have an A here, then I have a sharp major 7, okay? So G major 7, A major 7, A sharp major 7, C major 7. You can move all the notes that you want around the fretboard. Let's start with chords with the root on string 6. I will get the G note here on string 6, fret 3, and from this one we're gonna build many chords. So the idea is that from one chord, if you press just one fret up, one fret back, you can get different notes. So build different G chords, major, minors, and with the extensions. So just moving the fingers. Let's start with this one here. So this is a G chord with bar. So we have this G bar chord. I will take my finger 4 here, so very common G7 chord. Bar chords in Bossa Nova is not that common, so many times we play this G7 chord with fingers. We play this chord with finger 1, string 6, fret 3, finger 2, string 4, fret 3, finger 3, string 2, fret 3, and finger 4, string 3, fret 4. Now I will move just this note here. I'm pressing with finger 2. I will move just to the next fret. So I will change my chord. So I will keep the root here, the G note. These two notes here, you keep the same. I will just use different fingers, and I will move the note that is being pressed by finger 2 to the next note, to the next fret. Finger 2, string 2, fret 3. Finger 3, string 4, fret 4, and finger 4, string 3, fret 4. This is a G major 7. So I just change one note and I make this chord that was before G dominant 7th to a G major 7. Let's come back here to G7. From this one we can make many chords. So now I will move one note, the note that is being pressed here on string 2, one fret forward. So I will press this note with finger 4, and my finger 3 will be in the place of finger 4 on string 3, fret 4. So from this one I get a G7 flat 13. If I move my finger 4 one more fret, a G7 13. Let's come back to G7 here. Now let's move to the next chord, which is a G7 sharp 11. So this chord we have to keep pressing this note on string 6, the note on string 4, and the note on string 3. We're gonna just move the note that is being pressed on string 2. So this chord here, we have to do a different fingering. So I will use my finger 2 on string 6, fret 3, finger 3, string 4, fret 3, finger 4, string 3, fret 4, and my finger 1, string 2, fret 2, G7 sharp 11. Very common chord for bossa nova and also jazz. Next one, let's get here one more time, this chord G7. Now, what am I gonna do is get this note here on finger 2 and move, I will change the finger and just move back here. String 4, fret 2, finger 1, and then I press with finger 2 on string 6. G6 chord. Now if I take my finger off here, take my finger 4, and then I did a mini bar with my finger 1, I'm pressing with finger 1, string 4 and string 3, same fret, fret 2, then I get a G6 9. With finger 4, G6, without finger 4, G6 9. Let's start with minor chords. Next one, let's get this shape here. So this is another example that we don't play with bar. For example, I have a G minor, without finger 4, a G minor 7. Now, instead of we play with the bar here, we're gonna only use finger 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the sequence will be all the fingers on fret 3, but finger 1 on string 6, finger 2 on string 4, finger 3 on string 3, and finger 4 on string 2. With the same idea of moving just the notes around, we're gonna get another note. So if I move the note on finger 2, 1 fret back onto fret 2, and I press the root note with finger 2, I have a G minor 6 chord. Let's get one more time the G minor 7. So for the next one, we'll start to move the notes here on string 2. So for to do that, you have to change the fingering. So for example, my finger 2, now you'll be in the place of finger 1, so I will press on string 6. My finger 3, string 4, fret 3, and finger 4, string 3, fret 3. Now I move the note from fret 3 to fret 2 on the second string. This is a D minor 7, flat 5, or we call also half diminished chord. It's very common, G minor 7, flat 5. And then if I move my finger 1 fret back, I have a G minor 7, 11th. Next chord, let's get the diminished chord. So the diminished chord, we're gonna play root G, yeah. So finger 1, string 2, fret 4, finger 4, string 3, fret 3, and then finger 2, string 2, fret 2. So this chord, we had the notes here being pressed with fingers 2 and 4. I will move back. Next one is another diminished chord, but with a flat 13. So G diminished chord with flat 13. It will be finger 2, string 6, fret 3, finger 1, string 4, fret 2, string 3, fret 3, string 3, finger 4, string 2, fret 4. Now we're going to move to the last major chords here. We call this chord F over G. So the root keep the same, G, string 6, fret 3. Then finger 4 on string 4, fret 3. Finger 2, string 3, fret 2. And finger 1, fret 1, string 2. Actually, this chord is very common being called F over G, but actually this chord here, it's a G chord, yeah. We also call this a G9 sus 4. Very common. Then from this one, if you take your finger 1 and get the string 2, open string, then we have a G7-9. And also, if you move your finger 2 1 fret back, so I will change here to finger 1, we get a G7 flat 9. When you move, as this chord has an open string here, so when we move this one with another root, we have to use finger 1 to make the note. So for example, if I get this one as I have G, so F over G, so on fret 5, it will be the next note. So we can call this one here as an G over A or an A9 sus 4. Okay, so when I do, I can move back one finger. This one you need to stretch your fingers. So now A9 sus 4, A7 9, and last one here, an A7 flat 9. So I just move the finger 2 1 fret back. Thanks for watching the part 1 of this video. If you liked it, please subscribe to the channel, thumbs up, and ring the bell. See ya!